breaks between games,
Right.
which are often longer than the games themselves. This is exactly how it should be, because this, gives us a tight schedule. It gives us time to show something on the broadcast. There's obviously a reason why it's done the way it's done. But for the players, finding something to do with yourself for those 15 minutes is a very important part of the day.
As the players, Leinier and Alireza, are blitzing their way through this very mainline Caro-Kann, and it features this move. H7 might appear a bit peculiar, but if we go back just a moment, and if we had taken what looks to be a much more easier route to start with G7, G6, that's the anchor that White quickly plays H4, H5 and would castle long. By playing the move H7, H5, Black is actually ready to embrace White's king on the queen side with the move Bishop E6, Knight D7, and so on. H7, H5 also stops ideas of H3 and G4. So we saw quickly castles.
I think Knight E6 is not a very common move.
No, it's not. I mean, we can see that Black's knight is actually aspiring to get to D5. Oftentimes you go to D7
And
first.
F8.
You could park the knight on F8, and if you really wanted to go to D5, you could go B5 and Knight B6. But Knight A6, off the beaten track. Bishop D2.
It's clearly still prep.
Clearly.
Alireza blitz this all out.
And knight back to C7. So again, the knight is looking at Knight D5. It's not what you would call a stable outpost. Peter, just as Nasi was saying, I'm used to the knight on F8. What's the knight doing on C7?
I'm not entirely sure. I think there might not be in the center of the board, just why maybe a slightly move for itself. It's because normally Knight G3 and then Knight F5 or Knight D4 is something that White very much likes to do in these structures. And by parking the pawn on H4, we, at least for the time being, are telling White, you have this piece which would like to go somewhere, but you don't exactly know where.
Right.
And this, I think, is why F4 has become such a topical idea in these positions, because you do very forcefully remove some of
for black.
Is it completely crazy to go queen takes h4, knight takes c3, rook g3? I think that was something Alireza was concerned about. Rook d3, good move. Again, nothing to be done about the h-pawn, so it's counterplay. Knight takes c3, knight d5, hit the bishop.
17 seconds.
The clock.
I think we have to take the rook and then maybe take on h4. Oh, never mind. Queen e2 was played, but rook c3.
He wanted to trade queens and get into this. I would play bishop b8. No, bishop b8 and rook f4. For you do have knight
Does
c2.
white still have the advantage in this endgame?
I still like the bishop over the knight.
I'm not sure. I think the black king is honestly safer. The knight on e4 is very, very. So I think Alireza is playing for a win, and maybe not without reason either.
The evil bar agrees with Peter. Black seems to be better now.
I didn't like the move bishop c7. I thought he should have started with the move bishop b8 in order to give. That's an indication that something has gone wrong for white. It feels like
f5, f4. Yeah, once that knight lands on g3, you will be worried about your king for there. I like rook b1 though. At least trying to scare black, into a reaction to a4, b5, but you don't really need to react.
Yeah, this looks completely winning now for black. 4 seconds against 6.
Yeah, and it's just
g4, f3, h3 was mate, maybe?
yeah.
But Alireza switches to protecting against the b5 break, which is understandable in severe time trouble, but I think no matter if it costs you anything or not, you can't take, because rook c1, knight g3 is made, yeah.
Yes, knight g3 made.
So he's back to being probably completely lost, because...
Yeah, that's a very good move now. You move your king.
Yeah, you can even pick up the other one now, rook b1 and some move knight f5. I don't know. Now we have bishop g1 in the end, so perhaps Leinier is more alive now than he was earlier, but they should still lose somehow, right? Knight and f3 maybe, or rook c2 followed by f3, and it's kind of difficult to stop.
F3.
Yeah, but he lose anyway because the bishop gets lost in
Oh no!
Okay.
Rook takes g2, and where are we going? What game's